Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. It is another beautiful day in the city today, and we've had a couple good ones this week after some really long rain days before this, right? So it's beautiful out. So fall is here, right? It was kind of cool this morning. Now we're still getting up into the 70s, so this is like really great fall weather. So if you can get out and about, I would say do it, because it looks like we've got a lot of rain in the forecast coming up. So but the next couple days should be nice. So I hope you're enjoying it. I've been actually continuing my crossing guard duties in the morning, so it's been nice having all the waves and the toots of the horn as I've been out there getting people from High Street over across to the Brez into the Senior Center in the morning. That's my spot. I'm going to keep doing it until we get somebody else to do it, but it has really opened my eyes, I think, a little bit to the amount of traffic we have out there. So the theme of this is going to be, and I'm hearing it all over the city, is just safety, right? I think we need to slow down. I think we need to be more aware of what we're doing as we're going out and about in town. We have a lot of car traffic in this city, and I'm seeing it every morning now. And I've actually been pleasantly surprised. I think having these people out at these crossing guard stations helps. But again, they're not there all day. So the afternoon is a different story, right? I mean, I think everyone's trying to go somewhere in the morning. So it's just something I want you to be, aware of. We've got a lot of people who like being out on foot and on their bikes, but safety is definitely a big concern of my administration right now. And we're trying to work with all departments on how we can slow people down here in the city and allow it for people to get to where they want to go safely. So I just want to throw that out to start. I just came from my lunch with the mayor at the Senior Center. I haven't talked about this in a while, but I do this every month. I do it on a Thursday. It's on the Senior Center calendar, but I probably should be promoting it a little bit more. But I go and have lunch at the Senior Center once a month on the Thursday, and it is always great. And I actually have some regulars that come every time now, and it's just, I get to sit down there. I have to have lunch, get to have lunch with a lot of different residents, and we just talk about what's going on in the city. I talk to them a little bit about what's happening right now, but then it's really just a big question and answer session. It's always good questions that come out of that meeting, and I tell you, a lot of them are around safety and traffic here in Newburyport. So shout out to all my regulars at the Senior Center, and I can't wait till I get to sit down with you again next month. One of the things we did talk about there is our shuttle to the boardwalk. Okay, last week was our first go of the shuttle. So if you're interested in getting down to the boardwalk, and if you're someone who prefers to be parked really close to go down there, now we've taken away some of the spaces as we have these two construction projects going. We are running a shuttle on Thursday mornings, 10 a.m., that leaves the Senior Center. You can park there, leave your car there, and it will drop you off right at the boardwalk. And you'll have a couple hours to hang out down there on a beautiful day, and then we'll come back and get you in a Senior Center vehicle and bring you back to your car at the Senior Center. So it's out there. I mean, again, I'd like to add more days and times. I just need to know if this is going to be of interest to people, and are people going to take advantage of it? Because I think it's a great opportunity to not worry about parking downtown and not worrying about getting parking as close as you can to the boardwalk. This shuttle is going to drop you off right there, and then we get to bring you back to your car afterwards. So just something to think about. What else is going on in the city? So the Brown School, I put out we released on Friday all of the requests for information that we received, all the proposals we received that were due on September 8th. And so we had 4 responses to that. And so then we released them all to the public so people could see. I'll be honest, they weren't incredibly positive. For me, I'm looking to maximize as much affordable housing, and I'd like to see specifically senior affordable housing in this spot. I'd like to also try to keep the gym as a community recreation and arts space. That's something I would like to do. But then this is a very tight neighborhood, as most of the streets are on the south end. I don't want to overwhelm it with a number of units either. So, right now it's currently zoned for 20. It's been pretty clear that we probably can't get a project down there done for 20 units if we want it to be affordable. I think if it was market rate units, that'd be a different story. But we want to maximize as many affordable units as we can out of that building. So we released it to the public. We had a memo that was sent on to the city council, and what essentially I told the city council, they had set up an ad hoc that produced this request for information. What I essentially told them is that I'd like to move forward with a RFP process, so actually look for proposals of what we can do in this space. My administration, we're going to move forward with that. I'm going to have my planning director, Andy Port, begin work on an RFP. Now, the building is controlled by City Council. So whatever we come up with as an administration and as a planning department needs to go to City Council. So I'm essentially just saying, like, hey, look, I'm going to move forward with this process. I think we got a lot of good information from this RFI process, but now I need to know really specifics, what could work there. Because right now, what we're hearing from the public in this RFI process, I don't think helped us. But it did give us some good information, but it didn't help us get any closer. So I want to release an RFP that's a little bit more specific and really shows what the administration thinks can work there. And then let's see what we hear back. And then we'll share that information with the City Council and let them talk through it and see what our options are there. So, there's still a lot of great possibilities there. And I do think senior affordable housing should be our priority there. And then maximize those units. Maybe there has to be some market share units in there as well to make it worthwhile for a developer. And then how can we save that gym for a community arts and recreation space? Because it's still, we can't lose gyms in the city. We're just not in a position to do that. We actually need 2 gyms. We need one on Low Street at 59 Low Street for our Recreation and Youth Services Department, and then we need to keep a community space in the south end as well. What else is going on? Projects are going on all over town. Like I mentioned, Market Landing Park and Bulkhead are underway. You can see the big barge that's in the embankment area down there. That project is going well. The park project as well has started down there. If you looked up at Bartlett Mall, we've taken out the equipment. Now we're working on the grading of that area, so that new playground equipment will be installed soon. That's going well. We're really excited about that. Fire station is still going on. They had a couple days where they weren't able to get some work done, so they're now back at work. So we're excited about the fire station, keep moving through. Work continues down on Phillips Drive. So we still have a lot of these pockets of really great work happening around the city. We had a really productive walk on the boardwalk this week with the Waterfront Trust. As you know, the Waterfront Trust was set up many, many years ago with very specific mission and charge of having control over the waterfront, control over the boardwalk. They receive funds from the city and from the Harbor Commission to upkeep that Market Landing Park. So we actually had a walk with them on the boardwalk because someday soon we're going to have to work on the boardwalk. I think it's definitely showing its years, and it's been down there for quite a bit. So we really looked at some problem areas. How are we going to go about fixing those areas going forward? We don't want any tripping hazards. We want to replace any rotting wood down there. So it was a really productive conversation, and we have a path forward to kind of look at some short-term solutions down there, but then also start considering some long-term solutions as well. Short-term rental units, or STRUs, will be talked about tonight at the Planning and Development Subcommittee meeting of the City Council. This is certainly a hot-button issue. So we'll look to see. So some legislation was brought into City Council earlier this year. That was voted down. A new iteration is in now, sponsored by and written by Ward 1 Councilor Sharif Seed. And he actually worked pretty closely with the administration and the planning office on trying to find a compromise. Why did the last one get voted down? What could we tweak to get to something that actually can pass here in Newburyport? And the biggest part about that is on the city side, we don't get to set the legislation, but we have to enforce it. We just need something on the books, because right now we're not enforcing anything, because honestly, they're all not legal technically. All right, so we made the decision to not enforce anything until we can get something on the books, and then we can go out and enforce that. And then we're going to have to work with our planning office and our zoning administrator to do that. So that'll be my message to the council tonight, is to say, hey, let's work together and figure this out. Let's make a compromise, because we definitely need something on the books moving forward. We want to protect the integrity of the town, but we also want to have some semblance of these short-term rental units available, especially when we're still dealing with a town without a hotel right now as well. I mean, I do think there's value in these units. So I'm looking forward to their conversation tonight. Our streets and sidewalks plan, I mean, I've talked about this at length my first time here in office. So our new DPS director, Wayne Amaral, is kind of looking at that plan right now. We have a bond into City Council that will fund the next 5 years of this project. But before they do that, I wanted Wayne to put his stamp on this plan. So I have Wayne and his team reviewing that plan, and they're going to submit that into council so they can look at that as they review this bond in budget and finance. But I've asked them to have that plan ready for the end of next week. So keep an eye out for that. And a lot of this is just updating pricing on a lot of these things, right? I think when this plan was made, I mean, things have changed. So we want to make sure that we have the correct pricing estimates for what we want to do. And so we can really maximize and plan out what that next 5 years looks like. Again, we have a lot of really important, heavily traveled streets on that plan coming up. So we want to make sure that we're able to do everything that we're setting out to do. Fall sports is doing great. The family's been out and about. Soccer's been excelling. Boys and girls won the other day. Cross country boys and girls won the other day. They're doing well. Volleyball has had a good start of the season. I can tell you my Sadie Rose plays for JV1. They're undefeated so far this year, so they're doing great. Field hockey has had a great start, and the football team is going to look to rebound this week. So good luck to all the Clippers out there. This weekend, there's a lot going on. I just wanted to mention real quickly, the Newburyport Art Association is doing their annual auction that takes place Saturday. Starts at 5:30 down at the Art Association on Water Street. Go down there and check that out. That's a great cause. And there's also Pause for a Cause coming up, all right? And that's Saturday, October 14th from 10 to 12 at the Clipper City Rail Trail. This is for the Karen Wellington Foundation around breast cancer, raising money for breast cancer. But it involves your pets. You get to go down there and take those pets for a walk down on the rail trail, and it raises a lot of good money for a great cause. And so I'll be talking about that the next couple of weeks until that comes up in October. And that's my Mayor's Corner this week. I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.